This is part 2 of evaluating logs. I have 2 things left to show you. One, I want to show you how to do evaluate. I'm going to skip the word problems. You're welcome to look on the notes key to be able to see the solution for those if you're interested in finding those out, but they will not be on my homework assignment. And the last thing I want to show you is how to find the inverse of an exponential function. So first, let's start with evaluate. When you're thinking about evaluating logs, you are remember log is undoing an exponent. So when we evaluate a log, what this question is asking here is 2 to what power is going to equal 1? That's what this is asking. Well, 2 to the 0 power is 1. So log base 2 of 1 equals 0. 2 to the 0 power is 1 because anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, think about the next one. This is asking 4 to what power is going to give you 64. So what's the exponent that I would put in? And that's what this log base 4 of 64 is going to equal. Well, 4 cubed, 4 to the 3rd power is 64. So this equals 3. Starting to get the hang of it? All right, think about the next one. Notice there's no base here. So we talked about how a base 10 is implied anytime there's no base there. So this is asking the question 10 to what power is going to equal 100? Well, 10 squared is 100. So this is going to equal 2. Remember, you can just count the zeros whenever you have 10 to a power. That's what the exponent will be. Which leads us to our final question, a little bit of a thinker. Notice there's no base. So the base 10 is implied. 10 to what power is going to equal 1 over 1,000? Now, as a side note, if the question was 10 to what power equals 1,000, you know that that answer would be 3, right? If it was 10 to the 3rd, that would be 1,000. So how do I get it to be 1 over 1,000? Well, if you remember our exponent rules, when you have a negative exponent, it does the reciprocal. So this answer is going to be -3 because it's not 1,000, it's 1 over 1,000. We want the reciprocal. So you just put a negative there and it'll answer that. We're going to practice some more of that in the homework. So keep that in mind. Negative exponents is what is going to make it the reciprocal answer. Okay, last thing I want to show you today is how to find the inverse of an exponential function. What is the first step we always do when we're trying to find the inverse? Well, the first thing we always do is switch x and y. So x equals 5 to the y is going to be our first step. Then, the second step we do is we try to solve for y. Solve for y. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to get y by itself. Remember, we need to use logs when we want to solve for an exponent. So log, the base is 5, so the base is going to be 5 for the log. And then an exponent is what the log always equals of x. So base stays the base, the others switched place. And now I have found the inverse of y equals 5 to the x. You have a couple to practice on your homework, so make sure you practice those. And if you have questions, remember we have a Q&A session on Wednesdays, and you can dial in and ask any questions if you're not sure about that. All right, see you later.